At the beginning of the film, we see Claudio Verona, a businessman who is irritated because the car that picked him up was late. And because the traffic made him so angry, he asked his assistant to serve breakfast to customers before anything else. Just a little while later, Sylvia, Claudio's new assistant, was waiting for him when he got to the office. The sight of Sylvia's lovely face prompted Claudio to extend an invitation for her to attend the meeting as an associate of his team. Despite having a wife, Claudio is an upscale playboy who enjoys the company of attractive women. In addition to Sylvia, he makes an effort to woo Martha, his ex-girlfriend. However, Martha made an effort to decline because her wedding was imminent. Nonetheless, Claudio persists in his demands that Martha use her finisher after she mentions this. At last, Claudio gave up and abandoned Martha. Lorena, Claudio's wife, unexpectedly phoned not long after to see if he was all right. Although Claudio insisted he was fine, he attempted to pique Lorena's interest by inquiring about the incident that had caused her concern about his health. Lorena continued by saying that, unknowingly, the elevator had stopped while she was watching the news about the citywide riots. He then attempted to reach out to the building's technical staff in order to be removed from the premises, as he had an upcoming client meeting. The technicians never showed up after a long wait. Claudio attempted to get in touch with the technician once more because he had to be at the meeting soon. "Take me by surprise." He overheard technicians screaming in terror as they were being pursued by an unknown assailant. Claudio eventually tried to force the elevator door open as his patience was wearing thin. Despite his exertion of every ounce of strength, the door swung open a little because of the obstruction. Since Claudio's bulk prevented him from fitting through the narrow doorway, he was unable to escape. Then, in an effort to summon assistance, Claudio yelled out. The cries, though, went unheard. A short while later, his wife gave him another call, this time reporting that an unknown individual had been banging on her door. Shortly after, Claudio instructed her to contact the authorities without delay. However, Lorena claimed to have done it, but now she can't because the connection was abruptly cut. After ordering his wife to retreat to her room, Claudio attempted to reach out to a friend to come and watch over Lorena, who appeared to be in distress. A while later, though, his wife gave him another call, this time claiming that she had seen on the news that some locals had gone insane and were attacking others. After initially dismissing Lorena's claims, Claudio was taken aback to discover, on his cell phone, that the news of the attack had indeed occurred. Shortly thereafter, Claudio witnessed multiple individuals, Martha included, fleeing in terror. Following this, Martha urgently requested that he open the elevator door. The unfortunate dragging of Martha left Claudio bewildered as to what became of the criminals who were prepared to do such a terrible thing. A number of individuals attempted to attack him while he was bewildered, but they were unable to enter the elevator because they had been transformed into zombies. Following that event, the zombies eventually abandoned Claudio at that location. If Claudio attempted to flee, the zombies would probably attack him in an instant, leaving him with no choice. But he will die of starvation if he remains there alone. There is absolutely no food available to him. Afterwards, Claudio was nearly devoured by his ex-girlfriend, who had transformed into a zombie, just as he was about to get a call from Sarah, who works as her assistant. The good news is that he got away. After Martha's face transformed into a terrifying zombie, Claudio lost interest in her. Additionally, he used the available iron to repeatedly strike the zombie Martha, eventually crushing her face. So that he wouldn't fall when he got off, he retrieved some paper from his thesis and covered himself in zombie blood. Sylvia was spotted by him shortly after, evading the zombies. Sylvia was summoned by Claudio, who then requested her assistance in unlocking the elevator door. Unfortunately, Sylvia was attacked by zombies that appeared out of nowhere, so their efforts were in vain. Some of his friends, notably Sarah, then experienced a recurrence of the incident that had previously befallen Sylvia. Claudio lost interest in his own and other people's plights after that. On top of that, his pain intensified when his wife called to tell him that the zombies had broken into their home. Finally, Claudio was unable to get in touch with Lorena. After that, a police officer opened fire on the zombies outside the elevator as they screamed and attempted to break in. The officer eventually succeeded in eliminating all of the zombies. I see. After the cops attempted to assist Claudio, they were also unsuccessful in opening the elevator door. To fix the problem, his last act before departing was to equip Claudio with a weapon for self-defense and a walkie-talkie for their mutual communication. Slowly but surely, Claudio started pointing the way to the authorities. Marcello, as he was completely unaware of the generator's whereabouts. On his way upstairs, Marcello suddenly said that the stairs on the 9th floor were blocked by a lot of heavy furniture and that he couldn't proceed. Marcello then instructed Claudio to seek out an alternate route. After some contemplation, Claudio recalled that one of his friends had a room on the 9th floor with tools for building repairs outside. Marcello can use these tools to quickly reach the top floor. As soon as he tried to shatter the window pane with his weapon, Marcello rushed over. The zombies were drawn to the sound of breaking glass. As he fought off the zombies, Marcello felt helpless. After much effort, Marcello succeeded in starting the generator. However, the elevator doors persisted in remaining stubbornly unopened. Additionally, Claudio discovered that the elevator was not working because something was jamming the door. A zombie sprang out of nowhere and was about to bite Claudio as he reached for the item. In self-defense, he fired a shot. Presented by Marcello unknowingly. The other zombies are actually drawn to the sound of the gunshot. When Claudio finally realized he had murdered his own friends, who had also transformed into zombies, he shot all the zombies. After murdering every single one of his co-workers, including his ex-girlfriend, Claudio began to feel like a horrible person. Afterwards, as Claudio perused his wife's photo album, he abruptly heard multiple other soldiers attempting to repel the horde of zombies near the quarter's end. The soldier wasn't able to hear Claudio's call for help because they were in the midst of a zombie assault. Marcello failed to return after waiting for hours, leading Claudio to believe that he had been attacked by zombies. Attempting suicide was Claudio's plan because he was so down and out. Suddenly, he heard Marcello's voice urging him to open the door above the elevator without delay. After some initial perplexion, Claudio figured out how to use the iron on the door and opened it. As soon as Marcello stepped foot in the room, he retrieved his shotgun and proceeded to mercilessly wipe out every last zombie. It was at that point that Marcello started detailing everything that had happened during his attempt to evade the zombies. Zombies had taken over the entire building, so Marcello had a tough time at first. Even though one of the zombies bit his leg, he was able to escape by entering the hallway after he defeated multiple of them. Claudio attempted to inquire of Marcello, out of pure curiosity, as to the cause of the humans' transformation into zombies. According to Marcello, the situation escalated when medical professionals detected the spread of a deadly virus that had its origins in wild animals. As the virus spreads, people start acting strangely, almost like zombies, without even realizing it. In the short time before they turned into zombies, the undead were able to paralyze the whole city. Chiara, his wife, was the subject of his first revelations. Claudio had assumed that Chiara had succumbed to a zombie attack. The soldiers had constructed a shelter, or bunker, to evacuate individuals who had not contracted the zombie virus, so Marcello claimed his wife was safe there. Marcello started to exhibit symptoms that he would soon reanimate as a zombie a few moments later. He also instructed Claudio to kill him instantly so he wouldn't become a zombie. But Claudio was so terrified that he would obey Marcello's commands, so Marcello hit him, and Claudio felt the agony of a zombie bite for the first time. Following that, Marcello's zombie transformation was complete, and he tried to assault Claudio before accidentally shooting himself in the leg. Ultimately, Claudio had no choice but to use the weapon to eliminate Marcello, which roused the nearby zombies upon hearing the gunshot. In that moment of sheer terror, Claudio began to open fire on the undead with a shotgun, but he slipped and blacked out as he slammed against the wall of the elevator. By the time he regained consciousness, the undead had already departed. Additionally, Claudio noticed multiple calls from a certain number when he checked his cell phone. Attempting to contact the number, he was surprised to hear from his wife. who informed him that she was being rescued by the soldiers at that very moment. Claudio starts to rediscover his life's purpose after learning that his wife is alive. After that, while he's reaching for the item that's jamming the elevator doors, without further ado, he was able to take it. The moment Claudio was ready to exit the building, he swung open the elevator door. As one of the zombies crawled toward him, he had no choice but to crush her head under his foot. He was sick of zombies killing everyone, so he did it. It appeared that no one had survived the zombie attack as Claudio walked around the city. He persisted in his journey until he confronted one of the zombies that had attempted to harm him. It turned out that the soldiers watching the area were the ones who fired the shots that killed the zombies. Even Claudio attempted to wave his hand. The soldiers then gave the order for multiple members of his team to rush to Claudio's rescue. That he had escaped the zombie virus is something he knew. In the film's final scene, we see the city in utter disarray after the zombie virus has spread. That concludes our synopsis of this film. Much thanks for your time. Reconvene with you in the subsequent video.